Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Welcome back to episode 61 of our Solo World playthrough with no mods of update 11. Let's get rid of the title screen. And what we have is where we parked ourselves. All I did since episode 60 is what I said I did, is I was going to create the screws and the plates that we needed for all the modules, which meant I had to go get a little bit more iron and crush it, and that and smelt it, crush it, rock it, smelt it. So I did those. I made the gears and the screws and the plates. So what we can do now, as I said, I had turned this off so it would stop the crafting of our tractor. So we can go ahead and turn this on. And then what we will need to do is do the harvester, the scoop, the sower, and the plow. So now in 5 minutes we will have everything done. So let's get a little bit of food. I do want to do one other thing right now. I need to... We did crush all our coal, so we have that. Let's crush mixed rock. I want to make some of this garden gravel. We're going to get 2 per 2 rock. So what we will do right now is take this. We're going to move all of this. Alright, it's not going to go there. Alright, we want to take the crushed for roads and stick it all in AAA. Took it from this stockpile and moved it to our empty one that we just saw a little bit ago. So from here, we want to take all of this and bring it to crush for rock, or crush for roads. Now we'll go here, check our storage there, turn that one off. We have it down here, we'll turn that off. So now all we have is all of this rock, all this basalt. And we will go here, we have 334. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 40 is 320, 334, which is what it reads. So that means we can make 167. So make 167. And while that's going, let's go get our... Oh, geez, that's 2 hours? I didn't realize it was going to be that long. We'll get enough to do what I want to show. So, we now have the steam tractor. Too heavy. Yeah, we got too much crap on us. So let's... This is just like picking up the steam truck, and we just don't have the room for it right now. Those can go in there. The chutes can go in there. Seeds can go there. Shiva seed that goes in there. Palm seed. Got wood pulp. Joshua's. Those go there too. This gets the wood pulp. So, do we have enough room now to pull this out? No, we do not. We need to get rid of about 0.2. So we can get rid of that easy by getting rid of that. So we take this out. And just like the cart, or the steam truck, we drop the tractor. So now we have the steam tractor out here. What we want from there is our crushed coal. Want some crushed coal. How it went into the storage on the tractor, I don't know, because I pointed it directly at the engine. So now that that's done, we can go over here and grab... What are these? These are 10 kilograms each, so we can't grab all three. We can only grab 2. So if we open this back up, you'll see this module tab on the steam tractor. Oh, they changed it. They used to have 2 slots on here. So you could have like the plow on the back end and have the harvester or the sower on the front end. So you used to be able to put the harvester on and then have the... As you'll notice, this came on here for collecting the storage. That would be with the harvester. And if... God dang it, come on. If we decide to change that out, we could put the plow on it instead of the harvester. And we'll put the harvester in here. Now, with the plow on it, you see it has the plow back here. We will grab the scoop and grab the sower as well. So, dang it, stop getting on it. So if we pull this out and go to storage and put it in, and then we put the sower in here as well. So the sower is like this. And it will plant, each of them does what you would think. The harvester will, when you go over a field, will harvest everything that's in the field. Or it will harvest so let's get on here. If we come out here, and we have the Soleil that's up here, this is the downside, is the harvester will block your ability to climb a ramp. So you kind of don't want to have this on the front end. So if we came around here and we activated it, which is use the module Q, see down here, you have your different things. You have K for the lights, you have C for honking, and you have Q. If I C is also attached to chat, that's why it was popping up. But K would be the lights, which we don't see until daylight comes up. But if we hit Q, we put the harvester goes down and it starts spinning. See, we can jump off and it's still spinning for a short term. But see, we could do this and you'll see our storage is right here. This is all the things we put in storage, and that's the 12 that we picked up from the couple of grass that we ran across. Now if we keep doing that, it's going to run and pick up anything that is harvestable, that is within, that is fully grown. This is how that's how the harvester will go. See, it's saying not full grown because we're going over the stuff that we already cut. That's the thing with grass, is it actually cuts down half height. And so it starts like I said, the bush plants, the tomatoes, the yeah, whatever else. Tomatoes, pineapples, huckleberries, you know, all of that will be harvestable. And then it regrows in half the time. So, I mean, if we decide to come through here, I can't get through there. Really? It's not wide enough for me to take the tractor through. Trying to think if I have any areas that I can get to. We wanted to check the scoop on this. So let's first get our plant fiber from our Soleil. I don't know why it doesn't want to go, but we'll open up storage and we will bring our scoop. Have to get off it. Change out the scoop for the harvester. Now let's see. We have up, down, hold to dig, and dump contents. So if we went and held it down, what are you doing that for? Come on, get out of that view. And as you'll see, this goes into the storage too. Well, it definitely goes through. It won't go through the rocks. As I predicted. It won't. That's where you need the yeah, from industrial, the yeah. And we filled up on dirt. So of course we can't go around, or we'd have to go through, and right now we can't. We'd have to dig a little bit. So that will definitely help us with terraforming with dirt. So if we go ahead and pick up a stack of dirt, we'll have to figure out where we're going to put it. Well, I know where we're going to put it, but as I suspected, it's only going to work with hitting the things that are diggable with the shovel. It's not going to do anything that would require the pick. That's going to require a different vehicle. Alright, so we need to be able to get across to that so we can harvest those. Of course, that would also mean we'd need to get down to this level. I wanted to figure that stuff out, but we're just going to leave the tractor here. But in a sense, what it is like I said, this harvests the plants that are on the field and puts them in storage here. It'll collect the seeds. It'll collect any seeds that come off it. It will collect any harvestable crop, whether it's the plant fiber, it's cotton. You know, you pick the crop, the harvester will do it. If normally the plant disappears when it's harvested, the same thing will happen with the harvester. Then when you get done with that, for tilling purposes, you'd put the plow on. Instead of using the hoe or the hand plow, you'd put the plow on the back of the tractor, and you'd do the same thing as what you would have done with the others, and you just drive the tractor around, and with the plow down behind you, it will turn everything that it touches into tilled soil. We will get into fields at some point here very soon in the next episode or two. I just can't do it right now because I got to do a lot of terraforming to be able to get to where I can do a field, or to where I can at least reach a field, like either the tomatoes, or I have to dig through here through this aspect that I was doing up here and digging through this all the way through here so that I can go that direction straight out ahead to the river. I need to dig through this so I can put the road all the way through here and make the bridge here so that I can turn it up so we can get to beets and put a bridge across here so we can do wheat. Otherwise, I need to be able to get down here to my tomato field and then make it bigger. But those are things that I can't do right now without taking a lot of time. That is going to definitely take some time. And I'm not going to do it. The plow, as I said, does the turning it into tilled soil if the crops are completely destroyed on the field. And then the sower is basically a planter for you. So you're not having to hand plant every seed. As long as the seeds are in the storage there, it will plant them on any tilled soil. So as I said, we will go over each step of farming with the steam tractor once I have a little more terraformed and have the ability to reach either my tomato field or I have this road built out, which I'll probably do most of that unrecorded. So that, it's going to take some time. I don't really want to try to have 4 or 5 episodes that show nothing but terraforming. You've already seen me do it without the tractor. It's not going to be much more interesting with the tractor. The only difference is I'll be able to do a heck of a lot more because I'll have all this storage that I can throw, pull up all the dirt and all that and throw it somewhere. Now, if I brought a stockpile out here and laid it down here, I could dig up all this dirt and dump it into the stockpile until it was full. But I'm not going to do it. So, from here, what do we want to do now? Let's go check the assembly line for our next item that we're going to build. The next item we're going to build, we really need to think about the blast furnace or maybe the kiln, the cement kiln. And if we do the blast furnace, we're also going to need to do a wet waste filter. Now, if we're going to do the blast furnace, we need to figure out where we're going to build the room for smelting our ores, which means a heck of a lot of digging and then building the room, as well as figuring out where we're going to put the waste water pipe that comes out of the waste filter, because it is polluted water. We don't want to just be dumping it out into the river or whatever. It's no different than tailings. If you could put it 30 tiles below the surface, you will never see pollution on the map. It will not affect the pollution level of the world. Or very minimal pollution aspect to it. So, I guess trying to decide what I want to do. We will go do one thing real quick. Give me one of these carts. What we want to do is take a little bit of this. Wrong cart. There we go. And then we will come out here with it. We have our flax. Up there. So I could actually really just pick all this up. Pick up the cart so we can bring it up here. So what we want to do here is we're going to dig up one around. Till we get 30. And you'll understand why I'm doing this later. Because remember what I said. The plow will turn any soil into tilled soil. So if I left this dirt, and I go off just a little bit, it is going to turn that into tilled soil. Then the only thing I can freaking do is take my shovel and dig it back up. And then flip it over and dump it back in. So what I'm going to do here, one more. Is around my fields. I used to get a road tool and stamp the dirt, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to take this garden gravel oh, that's not doing what I want it to. There we go. That's what we want. Yeah, it's just the cube. So what we're going to do is take a garden gravel. Go down here to the corner. Run it all the way down here. And then we'll put the other three here. So this is just this is our garden edge. This is our field edge. Like I said, normally I would used to do a road tool, and this way, when the plow comes this way, it's not going to turn this. So this just gives us a one tile gap that we can turn the tractor in order to re-till the soil. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is, oh yeah, we wanted to make some more wood, or more lumber. Okay, stick that in there for now. 24. I didn't even see how many that was. was 18, so that's more than enough. Alright, so let's dump that in there. What I want to do is find that 18. So I told you that I have a method to chop down trees around a field without them falling into my field, so I don't have to take the chance. So what I used to do is with hewn lumber, you know, so I got these trees that could fall this way and crush my crops. So what I would do is I'd have these. Ah, shit. See, I just screwed that up. Actually, those aren't there. What we want is ladders. Was it 3 high or 2 high? I think. I think it was 3 high. Get rid of these branches. They came up with all these supports and stuff when they brought in the lumber yard. So you could do something like this, and then dang it, that one. Oh, that's because I put those on the wrong corner. And if you put, dang it. You went across here like this, and you had the beam. So now, if I were to, if this works right, and it falls that direction like I want it to. Of course it doesn't want to fall in the direction I want it to. There, it falls like that, it hits that. Not a single bit of debris, because it hits the plank. So the tree got stopped by the fence, or by the support, so nothing fell onto my field. So none of my crops were destroyed. Now you could do, you know, a little more elaborate aspect and put, you know, more pillars down and have this on your garden gravel and all that, and make it all nice and neat. But as long as you had it 3 high across here, the trees would not be able to fall into your field. Even if I now went and cut this, and it falls like that, it still didn't crush my crops. So that is how I would protect my crops once, if I was a farmer. I would find a way to do something similar to this. Because by this point, hewn logs are real easy to get from anybody. Because all it is just plain wood turned into dowel rods and using the regular logs to make the hewn. So if we go get one of these, you have different aspects. You have those beams, you have, end caps, you have X's for the top of the pillars, you have T's for the top of the pillars, you have a corner, now these would probably go on top of this straight up pillar. These can all be used for your shipyard too, if you want to make a dock. But that's something that I would do normally with that in order to protect it. I'm going to take it down, but that's just to show you what I would used to do in order to protect my crops from trees that were. So if I had a crop here and then I had a tree farm right next to it, or say a lumberjack had a tree farm right next to it, or there were wild trees, I would put this up to protect my crops in case I wasn't there from somebody coming through chopping the trees, and then I come back and half my field is destroyed. It doesn't matter whether the field is on your land claims. If something falls on it, it's destroyed. So, always protect your crop fields if you can. Not only with land claims so that nobody else can pick them unless you give them authorization. They can't pick them, they can't, plant seeds on them, not unless you give them authorization, just like a property claim. So unless you give them access to it, they won't be able to do anything with it. You'd have to give them. This whole front room's not. So you would have to. Come on. Give them authorization right here about who can do anything on your property. You'd be able to pick individual users. You could pick the demographic that somebody falls in. All this fun stuff. And then they would have access to it. And if you have the ability to add more than one person, you have a rent aspect that people could pay you on servers that use money. You have invite residents. You've invited different people. They can claim, one level of a multi-story building that are all decked out the same. As I told you, every additional resident gets a full 100% to the housing bonus of the 4 room types: bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, living room. So you'd get another 100% of that. But each additional resident is a negative to of that total value, the percentage that they would get of it. So like 2 people would get I think it's 80%, something like that. With 3 people, you might get 70% of the total of all 3 levels of the house, of everybody getting 100%. And then the fourth level would be a 50%er until you added another person. Then that one would be 100, and the next one would be 50. Actually, what it would be is if you had two, you'd be able to have 4 floors, 2 100s, 2 50s. When you added a third person, you could go 3 and 3. So you'd be able to have like the house that I have, but 2 levels for each person. The first one's going to be full value, second one's going to be 50. I believe. I think it's 50% for each one, but maybe not. But even then, if you have 3 people and you have 1 extra 50, that's still better than most places. But some places don't allow you to have residencies, or unless it is set up to where it is like a hotel and somebody's able to do it, and they're paying rent. But I need to do something with this house at some point and get it fully level 3. What do we want to do? So we need to come out here. I know we're only about right in here, and we want to be all the way over here. So we'd have to come to the end of this road that we have through here and dig further this way. So this, can we empty this cart? Empty that. A bunch of dirt in here. Do we have any? You know what? Let's just throw that over there for now. Let's drive it all the way down to the end. So we need to find out how many tiles we have from here to the river. 38. So we'd be able to go, that's 6 land claims at least. So first off, good old basalt. Or not basalt, gneiss. Where are we now? About halfway. Nope, there's sand right there. So that means there's a lot of sand in this area. Kind of want to go until we find desert sand, which is basically dirt. What was this one? This was 54, so this was a flat level. So what we want to do is go until we find desert sand. To the river. That is the middle of the river, by the way. So before too much longer, we should hit desert sand there. Too hungry, of course. Alright, let's go get some food. This is why we wanted to make more lumber. Besides for the house, we wanted to make a new room for the smelting over there. So we'll have to dig out a big area that can be turned into another craft room, which would actually be like a smelting room. So we'd bring all of our ores down here. We'd bring some sort of power over here. And have it deal with the rockers and the Erastas. So we'd bring our Erastas and that stuff down this way. Or at least 2 of them. Come on, where's the dirt? One, 2, 3, 4. One more. Alright, so we'll probably leave it right there. Because I don't think we have 5 more tiles to that. Let's go to the end of this and see where exactly we are. That says 9, so yeah, we're right. We could be right underneath the ocean. Or the river. So what this actually might be is, this might be low enough to be a road that goes underneath the river. The way to find that out is we want it to be under level 60 as the base of the river. Much like we did over there with the waterfall, or with the water wheel power. So if we come over here to our desert, so we were right in this area. So if we come out here to this deep area, this is 58. So no, this will not be able to go under. We'd have to dig down and then come back up. So we could almost possibly dig straight into that. So we'd almost at some point want to go down. So if we were looking at going down, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd almost want to start just after the like 4 would be 20. Nope, we'd have to go one more. Yeah, we'd have to start it right here. It's going down, which would be fine because that's the second one for the wide of the road. Then we go start digging down at our angle again, so that we get down underneath. And then we'd be down to 48, with 54 being the top of the roof. And then we'd come over and then we'd dig our way back up, and then we'd be, you know, back to 54 over here to where we could start digging again and then make more road systems off. That's something for somewhere else. I'm not. It's my Friday from work, so I'm just not. I'm kind of tired from work. I don't feel like doing a whole hell of a lot. Hey, come on. Keep going. So I'll have to work on that at some point. I just don't want to do it right now. I got to do a lot of terraforming. Otherwise, we want to get rid of any trees that are in this area, so we can put down more garden gravel and zigzag it across here and do right in here. So this can be one large flax field. We need to dig up this dirt right here and have a we're gonna have a ramp, or we're gonna come off of this, come around and have a ramp that comes up, so we hit this one, which is gonna be a flax field as well, and then somehow have it to where we can bring and then have a little ramp up here so we can get up to this height. Not sure where it's going to be yet, but that would allow us to also to come across here. We'll have to get rid of the campsite, or we'll have to dig past this stuff, so, or dig out this stuff so that we can get over here to these plants, unless we put another ramp up on this side, which we might do. Kind of similar to the ramp here and here. We'll have one off this side, and then maybe right here coming up this area, right next to the old growth. Similar to the old growth that's right there. But I can't think of anything I'm going to do right now. I don't feel like terraforming. I just don't have any energy. So I'll probably play some tomorrow before I start recording. I'm going to try to, dig through this right here. Get it to where I can put the road down. And, start laying the road all the way out here. I'll have to figure out where I'm laying ramps down so that I can come across. So I'll have to figure out at what height I'm going to dig through this stuff. I need to get this steam tractor through here, and then through here I can bring it over here and dig up some of this stuff. I'll definitely keep most of this here, so I'll probably fill in some of this, like this area right here, with a bunch of dirt. So wherever this is, it will be the same height that I have over here. Start taking out a lot of this and then filling it in over probably fill in this area. Take out some of that right there. That's 2 tiles high. I'd have to take that out in order to put in our wheat field in this area. Oh. But I need to get it to where I can start doing fields. Need to get someplace where probably be able to fill in all of this, and then we probably put like huckleberry field in here, or any of the other stuff that grows anywhere in these, you know, ferns, the fiddle ferns, or ballet mushrooms. Oh no, the ferns are going over there. Ballet mushrooms are probably anywhere. The huckleberries are probably anywhere. Beans would have to be over that direction somewhere. Or down here somewhere. Probably put them down here. It was those. It was the ballet mushrooms. Go down there as well. Pretty much the same areas that the beans were just located. And I said, see the ferns, those are going to be over there along the river. Or we could fake it and use hewn logs in order to lay wood, like the top of the house. And then put dirt on top of it, and then make the field like our field right here. Or the other one, which would be huckleberries, which is definitely anywhere in the cold forest. So we got plenty of places to pick that one and lay it down. But I think I'm done. I will see everyone in episode 61, where I have no idea what I'm going to do. I guess it depends on what I get started on off stream and when I'm not recording. I know I'm going to have to get more food before long, because we are getting thin on our food. We don't have any more well, we do have taro, we just don't have the camas, so we'd have to go hit our camas field. I just got so many things I need to, you know, clean up and, you know, plant-wise, ground-wise. Oh, that reminds me what I didn't show that I had done off record. Is over here off this road, I built the offshoot and then was building the ramps up so that I could get on this flat surface where we were dumping the dirt on top of the wood so that it's all the same height. We needed to still knock out trees that were blocking our ability to place dirt there. But something like that spot right there where we do this little offshoot is what I would do here, except I'd have it to where it's going to be a T section similar to this to get up here. We'll just do that and then turn it and then come over and then come up. But I've got so many things I need to do. I need to organize my thoughts, and that is not something I want to do tonight. Sorry about the yawning, but I am kind of tired, so I will call this episode, and I will see you back in episode 62 when I know what I'm going to do. Until then, enjoy your morning, your afternoon, your evening, whatever you happen to be.